super excited to be here today on, another Friday with you to end the week. So what's happening with Bitcoin, right? We finally escaped some lower lows, right? And remember, like, we are live in the Discord, so shout out to everybody here, on a Friday, working and getting better at their crafts. So, the Cobras, we've been short for a while. When we took our short entry right over here during our last stream, you can see that, during the night, going into like Asian session, early London session, really coming into New York session, we see volume, really vast volume come into the market, and then really get swept up nicely, right? Really get swept up nicely, pretty much retest every symmetrical triangle like possible. And then we finally, come all the way back to where we, clear everybody out from their shorts. And then what do? We short again. So this is a time where, we did catch a very good entry, but if you didn't capture your profits, this is what the market does. It takes it right back from you. And at this point, your stop loss is on your entry, hopefully, and you're so fucked up in the game, you just seen, let's see what the move was. You seen over a 5% move come and go in maybe like 45 minutes to like 2 hours. Well, let's just say 2 hours, right? 1 hour down, and then another 2 hours up. So yeah, that you could, tell this because it's it's a 2 hour chart, but on the 45 minute, quick sweep. That's why you have your big take profits that we need to start setting. But for right now, recent price action, we're still below the zone. We haven't, come to sweep this low. And if we kind of look on a larger time frame, we actually like started opening up in this area, right? So we have tested this area of support once. This is, still a 4 hour candle. It has got below the zone, but where is this candle going to close in 30 minutes? We do have like a small, bullish outlook kind of on the table. But if we see here, when we see the 40 RSI, especially when we see this double bottom coming on the 40, that's when there's a lot of support here, right? So when we come back down again and test it, notice how when we test it, we have a nice reaction, right? Because we're still not creating lows to this point, but look at the wick. It comes all the way down. It couldn't close near the 40, and then, just pretty much take off. Like, this was a wick just to take everybody out on their stop loss, and then, continue to make this lower high so we could continue lower. But what I'm trying to point out is, we hit the 40 here, and then we hit the 40 again here. And then look at how that bounce comes in, right? Holding the 40 was big on a 4 hour time frame. A 45 minute candle down, 45 minute candle up. And then, still just making a lower high. Still having a tombstone doji come here on the 4 hour chart. And then, a slow bleed out. And when we see this slow bleed out, that means, 2% on Bitcoin is going to be 9% on Rune, 6% on Unistake, 3% on Zill. SNX still up for the day. So this is the reason we ended up taking our shorts for the day on SNX. So when we seen like a 15-minute come in, and we kind of had the head and shoulders on the RSI formed, showing, a lot of resistance in this area at the 60. We come above it one more time. Then when we fail to get above the 60 and double top here, the price action is almost close to, even. But from my inference, like my point, the left shoulder was here, the peak was here, that represents. But us not being able to get above the 60 and having that left shoulder, easy short. So now what do we see? We see a retracement coming, right? Every move comes with a retracement. This is when you get to see if you're going to be able to hold this move, right? Because yeah, this could still be, you know, a little bit of a bullish flag here. We have a breakout. So let's go back to the King Bitcoin and see what's going on. Alts move too much for me, you feel me? I need to see the stability in the market. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's just, you know, check this 15-minute candle real quick. Let's see how it's forming, right? Just opened. We also just got this is also a new 30-minute candle. So this one candle is, you know, multiple different candle openings. Can this just be a wick? It's also a new 45-minute candle. So take that into account, and we'll watch it on the 5-minute. I'm gonna go get a water bottle real quick. All right. So could we have caught this move? Absolutely, right? Absolutely, we could have caught this move. If we're looking at our fib, is this the bottom, right? We're coming up to the 236 retracement. We could easily get to the 382.50, even the 289, if you ask me. In this market, we've seen almost always a 786 retracement. Why this is kind of different to me is because here, when we see, well, this is recently when we went to sleep, when I was asleep. So it had a wick down, a quick wick. We opened up the liquidity, and now we're kind of like, we're playing in between this zone. If we wanted to make another area of interest, we can see how we like use these lows, right? How there's like a resistance point, but we also see, right, if we take a step back, this is the retest. This is the retest of the ascending triangle flip. When we made this wick, we inferenced there was a point of confluence from the bottom to here to here. Now you see that when we retest it as a resistance, not a support, as you know, we've gotten some candle bodies below it. It's showing as a resistance. So it did break, you know, it's not pinpoint, but if we look at like the last 45-minute candle, you know, we're still only at its open, right? It's trying to see if it could go below its open. So it's holding support. But I'm pretty sure this 45-minute candle tested it. So now this 45-minute candle is the candle to tell you, are we gonna battle this 45-minute close? Like, are we gonna get back up here into, you know, over this support and use it as support once more? Maybe, you know, have a breakout of this falling wedge and do some more liquidity. The 45-minute would also mean us getting above the 40 as support. But I'd love this a lot more if we just got one more dip down. One more dip down right to this area, right? Right to this area. And then well, maybe even a little lower than that area, just to test the new lows. And then we could maybe flip along the 32K, 30K. See how that looks on the higher time frame. So maybe not even that one, maybe this one. We see that we have, you know, the wedge kind of forming here already. this 3-hour close that came in was very strong. And pretty much, if we've gotten some new, let's see, we have a 4-hour close coming in, right? So let me delete this little blue squiggly. So back to the 15-minute, we see that, you know, we've cleared the 40, but now we're testing kind of these highs on the RSI as a resistance. We have sort of broke out of the wedge, but depending on where this candle closes, you know, we're not able to use this candle as a resistance until it closes. And I mean, it's going to be a 4-hour close, so I expect volume. But if we're just looking at like even the lower time frame, like we seen it was kind of coiling up. Pretty much we had this low come in, which was, you know, up here. Then we had the low get hit on the RSI, which is inside the zone. We come below the zone, you know, form an even more falling wedge, and then we have a double bottom on the RSI on the 5-minute. But, you know, this price action is like moving, like the RSI is moving up rapidly on a lower time frame, but still approaching, you know, the 60 RSI a little too quick because the move hasn't really produced much volume, right? So there hasn't really been too much volume to back this move, I would say. Let's delete these lines. And let's see what else we got. The point of emphasis I was trying to keep, you know, and now that it's actually holding support is just the top of the doji when this candle was forming. So actually, you know, let's go degen. Let's go 1 minute. 1 minute, you know. Let's see what alts we shorten. Give me an alt chart. Any recommendations?
Yeah, do your GMT, man, or do your Solana or Ethereum open.
Okay. We could do GMT. It's had a lot of kind of press recently. So even on the 1 minute, right, we could see like how the battle of this trend line has been so immense. And this is like even a good short opportunity for me because we have the left shoulder, we have the peak come in, which is, you know, closed here. And then we have not even this bullish candle, which, you know, made the top. Then we have, you know, the double top come in for the next candle. So this candle closed above it, but it still wasn't able to close above this peak or this peak. So now let's go to GMT. And that's how you use the lower time frames, because we see the 5 minutes kind of in no man's land, doesn't need to test support. The 15-minute was, you know, testing something else. GMT under $1, so we shorted it up here, and it still has, you know, been bleeding the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's recovery has been nice. Let me actually add a short in on Bitcoin though. So that's a DCA, you feel me? My first entry was down here. Whatever went against me. Now there's more margin on it, but I still entered. So I'll actually add a stop loss to this to remove some risk. So I'll lose 15% on this trade, which is, you know, approximately $119. And yeah, that's that, you know, that's that. So we'll get to see if, you know, the 60 RSI gets to hold. If even, you know, this wick can hold, or else, you know, it's gonna come test this level as a support resistance, maybe test the zone. I might have to move my stop loss up a little bit because I still have an average in ready. And let's just, check around other parts of the market so we can see, just maybe get a little bit more confluence. E to Bitcoin trying to hold the support right to the zone, straight through the one. Oof, that thing was dropping, my boy. So let's just go to the daily. So we knew once we escaped, this weekly trend line, it's the same trend line that Bitcoin's trying to escape right now, right? In a sense. But this one is on a weekly. So when it broke the weekly, had its retest, broke the weekly first, had a little wedge come in. Now we'll go down to the lower time frames to see. But when things move on these charts, they move a lot more rapidly, or with bigger power, I guess, more trending. It just takes a while to break the trend. So, we had this like descending channel form, seen a wedge come out. Notice when we broke it the first time, bounce from it, trying to hold support. Notice it's also a descending triangle, right? The red and the black. So it's a retest as, support or resistance. It held support, held resistance. Descending triangle resistance, along with rising wedge. And then look at the flip. Look at this retest. Once you retest it, again, and then you could separate. Separating from a weekly trend line is massive. All right, let's update our daily chart. And coming into weekend price action, we might be expecting a range, but who knows? So the daily low, we have 4 hours left. Where will we close? Will this be the lowest daily close? Ow! Damn, my hand. But yeah, will this be the lowest daily close? In recent price history, like this is going back way back, boys. We below these lows. We still. This has not broken out yet. This is a retest. We retested this triangle to start, the symmetrical, just like we had it on ETH to Bitcoin. Now we have a daily symmetrical here. If we hold this, we could come down and put another leg in for, the next day with extreme volume. But for right now, we still have, this daily wick that we're working on. So we still do see some supports. We could also look to like this area in the zone being nice, or like just put this low on it as well. No, we'll leave it like that. So move this one, daily close. And this is how you could just mark up your chart so you're able to see your levels. Most likely be looking at a retest around this level. Also, with this drop that came in, shout out Don, teaching me about imbalances. If we measure, the candle body, Boom, retest, sweep almost like. Let's see what's going down on a 15-minute. Testing the 50 RSI. So yeah, what we're really monitoring right here, yeah, I'm stopped out. And that's why we're stopped out, right? Because sometimes you get too much volume and you just gotta go and close, right? You gotta go and close. All right. So out of the markets right now, always, do your next analysis. Like, why did that pump come? What happened? 15-minute held, above oversold. Couldn't get back oversold. We price action, did make a lower low here, so it's not a real divergence, but it is because this low. Look at this low. Start coiling up, right? Let's see if we find that other chart. Oh yeah, and we about to wrap it up too. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, so I'll be carrying this on in the fundamentals, but I think we've hit the sort of 2021 June low, and every time sort of Bitcoin has been down there, we've seen reversals. So if you zoomed out to like daily, you'd see we've hit that line, and this could be a pattern to go back up. I mean, it could go lower, but like it seems to be those
Yeah,
wicks,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, notice how like getting back in the zone will be major, right? Well, we are back in the zone, but like, was that a 4-hour close? Nope, we didn't. You see, so the 4-hour still held that zone. It had that volume to come back in, which is a great thing. That's what you want to see. But as well, so it was dipping below. Like everything was looking like good for the dump, but now we're seeing the 4-hour kind of coil up more, kind of try to hold that 40 RSI. 4-hour doji, so it looks like a butterfly doji, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, definitely something to monitor now. Let's see when these Bitcoins, the lead, these alts aren't even really pumping that much. Let's check the dominance or ETH to Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin, ETH, still down almost double what Bitcoin's down. So the alts aren't showing much strength of yet, but we'll just be live in the Discord and be going at it, man. I'm actually kind of happy we took that loss live. We knew it, this was like an important area, but as well, this is the 4-hour close coming, and we still have 5 minutes till it closes, so a lot could happen. You can see that we have almost like a 5-minute bearish divergence coming in. I mean, this could run, right? You can't hold nothing away from Bitcoin, and like that's why the 5 minute charts are dangerous. You can't just enter on any simple divergence. You need higher time frame confluences with it. So in this case, and yeah, me and Chopper were on the call too. Like it was pretty simple. We seen like the consolidation this hour, was just going sideways, and then we seen the wedge, and then just looking at the price action, you seen the doji at the bottom, and then this doji engulfed it, right? I mean, this 15-minute candle engulfed the doji, and then it was just like holding the 50 oversold. Yeah, bro. How much percent was that move? About 2% move.
2.
15-minute test in the 60 RSI, bro. SNX pumping with Bitcoin. This would be, you know, the area where I would still be comfortable entering this short if Bitcoin, you know, was to not hold these levels. But with the 4-hour candle coming in, there's no point in rushing an entry, right? There's no point in rushing the entry. When the new candle forms, you'll probably either end up seeing a wick to the downside or the upside, and then just, you know, monitor what Bitcoin's doing, and yeah, guys, tap into the Discord. You know, lots of big things are going on, and you know, next week is gonna be a banger of a week. We put in over 2x this week, so looking forward to, you know, just furthering our ideas and, you know, building a great community. So remember to just tap into the Twitter, the YouTube, and yeah, Cobra Light Speed.